What is up, guys? Sophie here, and I'm back with another video. If you are new, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can stay updated on all of my content. And also don't forget to check the description box because I always put a lot of stuff in there, specifically my book for single women, which you can get by clicking the link down below. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about how to be a man's peace over a man's headache, because I know that y'all ladies don't want to hear this, but the fact of the matter is a lot of women are a headache. I'm sorry, but y'all are. And let me start from Proverbs 27:15-16. And this is the MSG version. A nagging spouse, or in the other versions, it says a nagging wife, is like a drip, drip, drip of a leaky faucet that you can't turn off and you can't get away from. I know that us women want to believe that we are not like this, but sad to say, a lot of us are. I am a woman and I meet other women like this, and I be wondering, how are you like this? It is very difficult to be around a woman who is not self-aware, who doesn't add value to the situation, who always got her mouth running, who is always selfish, who always wants something, who always complaining, who always, none of that is a way to not only be in a healthy relationship, right? But it's also not the way to get a man to stay with you. In fact, this is probably the number one reason why men want to get away from certain type of women, because they are just not a pleasure to be around. So I actually saw these few posts from an Instagram page, and I'm going to put it up, and I want to go through some of these points because, honestly speaking, I felt like some of these points that she made some women can learn from, basically. So why don't we go ahead and let's get into it. So the first one that I'm going to mention is, don't make the home into a war zone. If coming home to you is coming home to yet another argument and a fight where you explode and turn everything into an issue, he will dread coming home, and it hurts when home is a place to run from and not run to. I think a lot of women need to become self-aware of this, because I have seen some of my female friends do it. I have seen some of my female wives do it. I have seen some of my, a bunch of females do this, and I'm not sure that they're necessarily aware of how they come across. If by chance a man is dating you, visiting you, whatever the case may be, if he is around you and the first thing that you have to say is start an argument, why he didn't do, what happened to this, and just always yap, 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 then that's a sure way to run a man away. I think sometimes women think, oh, we're just having a discussion, but you're not. You're being annoying, you're being argumentative, and you're getting on people's nerves. This is not to say that you can never express your opinion, but whenever you want to communicate to somebody, you always have to check your tone, because nobody's going to hear you if you're yelling or if you sound very aggressive or accusatory. Also, we have to learn not to make a mountain into a molehill. Some women will legit be arguing over something so dumb, and it's just not worth it. So for example, if by chance he forgot to take out the trash, right? This is just an example, because I have a son and my son forgets to take out the trash. I don't be yelling at him and why did you? It's not that serious. Either I'll say, can you take out the trash now? I don't even bring up the fact that he forgot it. Or if it bothers me that much, I can just take out the trash. It really is that simple. We don't need to be like, well, you're the man of the house and you need to take out the trash, and I can't believe. It's just not that serious, right? So we need to learn how to pick and choose our battles. And more importantly, we need to know how to actually talk to people. And you can give, and in my experience, you can give any criticism, any opinion that you want. But if you are able to say it in a way that does not sound argumentative or offensive, then it's a lot better to keep peace in the home. So the next one, ask him how he is. Most women want a husband to ask them, how was your day? How did you sleep? How are you? Yet they rarely ask the husband these. If these questions make you feel cared for, your husband, or in this case, your man, whoever, will also want to feel cared for. I have found this to be very true. Whenever I am in a relationship or I am dating somebody, I think that you would be very shocked on how far it goes to compliment a man. One thing that I like to do is, hey, if he just came from the barbershop, I notice he just have like a haircut or a fresh, trim up or whatever, I will always compliment on it, because that's just like if I go to the salon and get my hair done, I don't want a man walking past me and don't even know that I got my hair done. At least you could say, hey, babe, your hair looks pretty. And so you have to show the same respect to a man. And I think I was actually watching Kevin Hicks' video. I'm pretty sure it was his. I forget the title. I will try to link it down below if I remember. But what he was saying is that men rarely get compliments. And so whenever a woman, is very considerate or give them compliments, then it's something that they remember. I have actually agreed with that. Whenever I've been in a relationship, one of the things that men tend to like about me is that I tend to give compliments. And it's just because everybody likes to be complimented. Everybody likes to feel like, hey, you care about how my day went. You care about what I am doing. You notice that I lost 5 pounds or something of the effect. I don't know why women think that it's cute to either not pay attention or demand that a man give them something like a compliment that they're not willing to give him. Whenever you are in a relationship or thinking about how to not be a headache to somebody, you have to think like, okay, how would I want to be treated in this situation? Or how would I want a man to treat me? And you have to be willing to give back that same energy. The next one I'm going to get into is organize his life. I'm going to put a full blown disclosure, because this is for husbands in this particular instance. The other tips could be for boyfriends, but this one is for husbands. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you organizing a boyfriend or somebody that you are dating's life. But what it says is a lot of men can be disorganized, especially when they are going through a lot in their life or have a lot on their mind. This chaos in their system, dressing, schedule, or environment can lead to more unease to their mind. And then it says, help him clear and clutter and attend to some of the needs without asking him, and he will think better. I know a lot of women are going to probably jump down my throat on this one, but I want you guys to hear me out. This is not to say that you are a maid. I'm not saying that. But the other day, I also read an Instagram post where literally a woman asked, oh, if your husband said that he would take care of all the bills and provide for everything, and the only thing that you had to do was cook and clean, would you do it? And a lot of women were like, I'm not a slave and blah, 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 blah. And see, this is what I mean, right? This is what I mean, because at the end of the day, if a homemaker is a job, in my opinion, if you staying at home and he is taking care of everything, then what else is it that you have to do? And I think oftentimes in this day and age, so many women are like, oh, I don't want to be submissive. I don't want to help. But at the end of the day, you clean in your own house. And like I said, this is for a husband. If you are married and depending on your position in the home, you could be a homemaker. You could work part-time. I don't know what your position in the home is. But just like it says in the Bible, when we talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, I believe I have a video on that. If I can find it, then I will link it in the description box. The Bible does specifically talk about a woman kind of being the keeper of the home. And the fact of the matter is I have a PhD, I have a home, and guess what? Because I'm single, I'm still the keeper of my home. I still have to clear out my house, clean and declutter and all of that. I'm doing it for myself anyway. I'm not encouraging y'all to be a maid, but what I am encouraging y'all to do is to, if you are married, to reevaluate your place in the home and find out if you are helping the situation or are you hurting the situation. Because I've seen a whole bunch of women who don't want to work and they don't want to be homemakers. They just want to sit in the bed all day, to have access to his bank account, and they don't want to do anything. And that's not what you want to be, because otherwise, why are you there? Not saying that you're a maid, but you have to understand that if you are married and part of your duties when discussing with your husband is to be the keeper of the home, then really try to do that, because I feel like whenever I have a clean home, it makes me think better, and it'll also make your husband think better. And that way you can have more of a functional and positive household. If your home is very cluttered or if it is very messy, then it can be very difficult to just think straight or even feel positive. Y'all know how it is when you're just in a bunch of mess. You just feel like you're in a bad mood. I actually used the KonMari method to organize my home. I have a blog on that, and I'm actually going to link it down in the description box below. But I definitely do believe that having organization around you does help the home flow more fluidly, especially when it comes to people getting along. So the next one is pray for him. You are the one who knows best his potential struggles, battles, and questions. Commit him to prayer. Let him hear you pray for him. I completely agree with this. And I also agree that you should be praying together. I always feel that women will try to change men, or they will try to make, or they will try to force. But if you are marrying an equally yoked man and he's listening to God and the man not listening to you after you done asked him or requested something, you can always go to God and you can always pray to God to help God give you wisdom on how to deal with your husband. I personally don't believe in praying for changing people. I mean, you can pray like if he has a drug addiction, then yeah, you could pray for that. But I'm talking about regular everyday issues, because a lot of the times we focus our prayer on how to change him, but it's really they have free will, but really we have to pray for our own discernment on how to either help deal with that person or how we can behave in that situation. And obviously we also pray for him too, but just know that whenever you are praying for other people, if you pray that tomorrow he gets a 6-pack and he wants to become more healthy conscious, and now he's severely overweight, and then you come in and he don't want to exercise, then you can't get mad at that, because you're kind of impeding on his free will. Instead, a better prayer would be, how can I encourage my man or my husband to live a healthier lifestyle, and what can I do to be a positive encouragement and not a nag? So the next one. Listen to the whole thing before y'all comment, because I know this is going to say, but I want y'all to listen to the whole thing, because this one says help him out financially. Y'all know I'm not about paying for a man, but I want y'all to listen to what she says. A lot of men are going through stress due to finances. Help him by not putting pressure on him to give the family a lifestyle he can't afford at the present, by helping to pay some of the bills, by helping him manage finances better, by saving, seeking long-term investments, by setting up, especially when he has been fired or is going through something. I feel like you have to be very careful with this, right? For me personally, I'm not taking care of no man. But what I do think is that sometimes women will tend to try to ask men for things that their lifestyle can't afford because they want to keep up with the Joneses. I think that you have to be very mindful of that. If your man is, say, making a decent salary and you want a Birkin bag and he can't afford that, there is no reason for you to yell or to get mad or to dump him, and he's a really good man just because he can't afford a $30,000 bag. I feel like women needs to be more mindful of their expectations and the fairness. Nobody's going into bankruptcy for fashion or clothes. I remember Married at First Sight, I think it was.
I've ever seen in my life. She is mad because her man wants to save up money for the future and provide for her and not let her waste it every month. Is this a joke? A joke.
I remember when she was like, he was like, well, I want to save for a house. And she was like, well, I want to spend more money and go on vacation. Literally, they were talking about spending $10,000 to $13,000 a month. And she just could not get his perspective as to why he wanted to save for a house. See, this is what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, he's not taking the money and doing something stupid with it. He wants to save the money to invest in your future. And so to me, I feel like sometimes women can get very funny and they just want to take a man's money. They just want to spend and they don't want to manage finances. And then when y'all are living to paycheck or something comes up and you don't have the money, now the woman is mad without seeing how she played a part in just spending money frivolously. That's not what you're doing. Whenever you are invested, especially with a husband, you do have to think about, how are we investing our money? How are we saving it? How are we doing things in positive ways? Now, if you want to help a man pay some of the bills, that's on you. Once again, that should be like your husband, because it's a joint account or whatever, but I certainly would not be doing that for no boyfriend. Like, come on now, no. But my point in all of this is some women are very flashy and they don't want to save money, whereas some men do. And some women get mad because their man can't necessarily splurge. And sometimes you have to be reasonable and understanding that if a man is a good man, we're not talking about somebody lazy that ain't doing nothing and he don't got it, but in every other area he's like, I'm a good man, then he just don't got it. It's not that serious. You don't always have to try to take and spend and all this other type of stuff all of the time, right? All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is about it. Don't forget to check the description box, and I will talk to you guys another day, another time. Bye, guys. Not ready for the show to end? It doesn't have to. You can head over to my site where you can read hundreds of articles. And also, you can feel free to shop my store where I have all of my products for sale. And last but not least, for even more video content, feel free to visit my YouTube channel where I talk about a wide array of content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, stay blessed.